This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let's kick off with the very first question. Just a minute. Okay, so we are going to talk about the IT BA role. Some of you might already have an idea about it, or maybe you heard about it from someone. Let's break it down and get the gist of what this role actually does. Okay, picture this: you're working for a software-based company or any tech company. Okay, and your job here as an IT BA would be to understand the business requirements from the stakeholders or the business team. Okay, so it's like being a detective, diving deep into the nitty-gritty details of a software application that they're expecting, find asking the right questions and getting that additional information. And when I say software application, it could be related to anything. It could be an automation project, or it could be a technical upgrade, or it could be about a mobile app development, or it could be a dashboard or a portal, or there are plethora of other uh, type of projects that could be out there. But there's always a software requirement at the end of it. Okay, because it's a software company that you're working for, so there are so many possibilities of different type of projects. So here you talk to the business. Okay, you gather all the information by bombarding them with whatever questions you have to get the required information. So you become the Sherlock Holmes of business requirements, and once you have a good understanding, you document all of those points. Remember, different projects again will have different type of formats to be followed for the documentation. You do that part, and then comes the fun part of it. You need to get the approval from the business team on whatever documents you have created for the business requirements. Why is it necessary approval? Because what is said or what is provided by the business team and what is understood and documented by you, there could be a gap some of the times. And when you start working, you'll realize how this could be, a major gap could be there. So you need to bridge those gap, right? So you need to get the approval that yes, whatever you have documented is the required business requirements. So they give you the nod, the business team, saying that yes, these requirements are correct. Now it's time for you to team up with your technical team, which is nothing but your UI UX designers, your developers, your QA folks, the quality assurance, the support team, and maybe a few other teams which could be part of your the entire infra team and DevOps and all those things. So that would be your technical team. So you interact with them, provide all the necessary information that they would need, and they start building that magical solution. Okay, now here your goal is to make sure that the final piece of code that gets delivered to the client aligns as closely as possible with the business requirements. Okay, so it's like making sure that whatever is provided to the client is what exactly they were expecting. Okay, so that was a sort of a high level or a whirlwind overview of the IT business analyst role. Now, some of you might already start thinking that, oh, but this is quite different. Like maybe you might have imagined yourself solving business problems or working with revenue numbers and other things like that. So I'm debunking all those thoughts of you, because as an IT business analyst, this is what you would be doing. You would be working on one software related project at a time and ensuring that the end deliverable is matching what the business requires. Okay, so here you take a minute or two and let this sink in. Okay, if you want, you pause this video, grab a snack, ponder over it, and think, okay, if this is what ITBA role is all about, is this what I really want to do? It can be very interesting for a lot of few people, but there could be some people who would rather like to work in isolation, or things like that. So there could be a sort of a mismatch between what you expected and what this role could be. Okay, so think about it, and then we will proceed to the next question. Okay, so now if you're still with me, I hope you have thought about it. Let's move to the second question. It's closely related to the first one because it's all about clarifying the differences between the BA, ITBA, and the analytics part. These three roles might seem similar, but they have their own unique flavors. We have already touched upon what IT business analyst role is all about, right? So now let's shift our focus to the BA role. So imagine you have been hired as a BA for a non-IT or a non-tech company. Could be something like, say, Warner Brothers, or it could be something like a bank, like a HSBC bank, or some healthcare client, or some manufacturing, or logistics, or any other such company, which is totally not related to IT. Okay. Now here, if you are working as a BA in any of these companies, your work revolves around revenue numbers, or customers, or market segmentation, products, services, financial modeling, all these things. So you will be brainstorming ways to make things more business friendly. Okay. You might also be involved in doing some sort of predictive analysis, like, okay, in the next quarter, this is where more business can come from. So these sort of things. So basically, you are that secret sauce behind improving the overall business of the company. Okay. Usually, what would be the prerequisite for this role? Generally, the companies would prefer to hire some MBA graduates for such a role. Okay, so that is what a BA role is all about. Now let's go to the other extreme, the analytics part. Okay, what is analytics about? It's like diving headfirst into a sea of numbers because you deal with a lot of numbers all the time. You will actually be using tools like Python or SQL or R, or you could be also working on some data visualization like Tableau or a Power BI, or maybe every now and then some new tool comes into the market which will help in doing better data analysis, and you will be working on that. So as an analyst here, you work in isolation, crunching numbers and mining data to uncover valuable insights. What do I mean by that? So, uh, if I give you an Excel sheet with some 100 rows, where every row is having, 10 columns, that information might seem to be too dry, but there should be someone who will pull out the actual insights from that information, saying that, okay, out of these 100 rows, I see that in the 10th row, that shows maximum revenue, but the profit is not that much, so something needs to be done. So this sort of insights, how do you get it? So someone has to do that analytical part, and that is where you come into picture. So, but of course, you won't be working on just one Excel sheet with 100 rows, but you'll be working on a huge, humongous amount of data. Okay, and you help in getting these valuable insights out of the data. Let's take an example, or else imagine you're helping a supermarket chain, something like your Walmart or a Tesco, or in India, a D-Mart. Imagine you're working for the business team which is running these stores across multiple cities in the entire country. Now you're given loads of data. Okay, and you're told that they would like to find out which products they should stock more frequently across all the stores, because it happens that there is a particular set of products which the customers require, and they go to a particular store and they don't get it, so they don't buy it. Now it's the loss for the store, because they could have sold that product to the customer and got business out of it. So now maybe DMart wants to solve this question. So you're given loads of data, like they'll tell you that in each and every store, uh, this is the timings of the store, and these are the customers coming on a Monday, on Tuesday, on weekdays, and these are the bills that got generated, and this is the customer footfall, purchase information, and whatnot. You're given all of that information. Now your job is to swim through that sea of data and figure out which product categories are selling like hotcakes. at which specific times. Okay, so armed with this information, you'll be able to suggest strategies to the business, saying that, hey, you know what, based on the analysis that I've done on the data that you've given me, you should definitely stock this product more than any other product, and that will in turn help the business to get more revenue. Or they might ask information about which category of segments to focus upon, or which stores are giving more business. There could be a lot of further uh, insights that can be generated out of the data that you have. So your work as a analytics person, you could be a data scientist or a data analyst, or they can say business analytics, whatever it is related to this work. Okay, I hope by now you got clarity on what is business analysis, what is ITBA business analysis, and the analytics part. And you should be in a position to understand if ITBA is really what is good for you, or is there anything else that you should look for. Okay, I hope things are clear till here. We'll solve the remaining questions in the next video. Okay, thank you.